you felt that society was pushing you into a mold, and that's, yeah, there were clear expectations there of what girls do, what guys do. But I guess that raises a question in my mind. Today's society tries not to do that. In fact, I would never, in a public situation, try and say this is what people are like. But at the same time, there are people who say, I identify as a man or a woman. But what sort of molds are they appealing to if society has tried to do away with those? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't think that the molds have disappeared. You watch TV, you look at games, you look at how they're representing women and men in different environments. Maybe they're not saying it, but they're showing it all the time. You look at ads, and I'm sorry, but you got to be pretty if you're a girl. You got to be thin if you're a girl. You got to be, sexy if you're a girl. Those things are still out there. I think they're even out there more. I think we've become hypersexualized, first of all. I think that I'm actually really perturbed by how men and women are both being sexualized and treated like sex objects. And so I personally think that our society has created even worse molds than when I was a child, because I find them even less healthy.
So you were Kirk saying that there's now girl hockey leagues. There's now, if you want to, like the term equality is used a lot in terms of equal pay. Women's soccer in Canada right now is fighting for equal pay. There's so much of that where we need to be the same, distinct in different ways, because if you put all the women soccer players on the men's team, they're not going to be able to make the team. But there's still a desire to have all the same outcomes in terms of the things that matter, money, those kind of things.
But like you said, we're still a society that puts people into categories. And what I find interesting about that is that categories always make us feel like we're either insiders or outsiders, depending on how those categories are defined. And yes, I think that there is less of that, oh, girls don't do this or boys don't do this, than there was. I grew up, right, with the feminist movement. I was feminist. I was, women should be able to do anything they can do, and men should be able to do anything they can do. And so I did grow up with that, and I believe that. But now I've gone even further. Each and every single person in this world is unique. Each one of us is created by God. I'm a Christian, so I believe every one of us is created by God for specific things. We harm people when we don't let them be who they are and tell them they can't be that because they have certain genitalia and not others. And I think that really is why, like as Mama Kay says here, molds are why kids are pushed as the opposite sex if their interests aren't traditional. I think it's because we have expectations. So when a child who's a boy wants to do things that are classified as feminine in the society, he might grow up thinking, oh, maybe I should look like a girl, or maybe I should become, I should take on the appearance of a girl so people aren't continually teasing me or bullying me or saying mean things about me. And so I think that that's still very much the case, that we don't let each child be who they are fully, and we put expectations on them. I don't know how you feel about that or what you're thinking.
That goes back to the molds that people get pushed into as far as girls do this and boys do that. I know when we had 4 boys in a row, and then we had 2 girls. And so by the time the girl came along, we had nothing but boys' toys. And I wasn't concerned about that at all. I figured, I don't see why they can't play with the boys' toys. Now, it turned out that they naturally, as they went to their friend's house and saw other kinds of toys and things, that they naturally went in the direction whatever they wanted to play with, and they did not really find a lot of the boys' toys that interesting. Others did. But there's another kind of mold you suggested that's in today's society, and when you describe this kind of unwritten mold, or this society has tried to do away with the molds, but then something else has emerged. You mentioned sexualized. And I've certainly seen that on Instagram, for example. The Instagram stars, the women well, there's a good deal of display of their physical attributes. And the guys, I think, well, the guy's contribution is to, well, there's going to be a lot more views from guys. So there's this implicit endorsement of another kind of almost a physical, it seems to have degenerated into just a sexual thing. It's different and it's not healthy. I would agree. There's something that I find I'm dismayed at, because they've set aside these other ones that were expectations of whatever culture they have to grow in. But then instead, this has been embraced. So it seems that possibility is that we all need a certain amount of what value and significance and identity. But what is that ultimate? What does provide that ultimate value, significance, and identity? Because it seems we've just jumped out of one problem into a more, I'd say, almost animalistic problem now with the hypersexualization